Hi guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make this wishbone stitch. And all you need to do this stitch is some yarn and whatever hook that yarn recommends. I'm using, and I'm going to say this the way people always want me to say it, because I always say worst, but you don't really hear the ED. It just sounds like I'm saying worst, and I've even said it out loud. Worst, worst. It sounds the same. So I guess that people say, that's the way my mom always said it. So I guess people say worsted. So I'm using worsted weight yarn, which is 4-ply for the US and 10-ply for Australia. And I'm using a 5mm hook, which is a size H hook for the US. The multiples of this stitch is, am I doing the right way? There we go. It is 6 plus 4. And what that means is that you're going to chain in multiples of 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 until you've reached the width that you want. And then you're going to chain 4 more, and then you're ready to start. Okay, I've done my multiples of 6. And now I'm ready to do my chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm ready to begin row 1. For row 1, you want to put a double crochet in the 5th chain from the hook. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to put a double crochet in that stitch. Now you want to put a double crochet in the next 4 chains as well. So you will have done a total of 5 double crochets. So that's 3, 4, and 5. Then you want to chain 1, and you'll skip 1 chain, and in the next you'll start your next set of 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, once you've got your next 5 done, again you'll chain 1, you'll skip 1, and then you'll start your next set of 5 double crochets. So you're going to continue to do this till you get to the end of your row. And then when you get to your last like 6 chains, things will change. After this next set for me, because I'm almost to the end of my chain, so this will be my last regular set of 5. Do my 5. Chain 1, I'm going to skip 1, and then now you should have 6 chains left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 chains, actually 7 because you skip 1 here. So when you get to your last 7 chains, after your last set of 5, you'll chain 1, you'll skip 1, and then you'll just double crochet in the last 6 chains. Unless you're doing an afghan, then obviously you have a lot more of sets of 5 to go. So coming to my last chain here, and that ends row 1. For row 2, you're going to chain 1 and turn. Now you're going to be putting single crochets on the tops of all your double crochets, starting with the very first one. So at the end you did 6 double crochets, so at the beginning of this row you'll have 6 single crochets to do. 6. Once you have your 6 single crochets, you'll chain 1, you'll skip this chain 1 space and start right into the next double crochet with your next single crochet, and you'll have your set of 5 single crochets on top of your 5 double crochets. And every time you've done your single crochets on the top of your 5 double crochets, you'll chain 1 over this chain 1 space, and you'll start in your next set of 5 double crochets. So just keep continuing that to the end. I'm up here on the end here. I just put a single crochet in these 5 double crochets, and now remember you have this chain. Don't forget you want to put your 6th single crochet worked in the top of that chain 3 at the beginning. You'll always have 6 stitches on each end. So that will end row 2. For row 3, this is where we start going into our actual stitch of the pattern here that makes these wishbone looking things. So for row 3, you're going to chain 3 and turn. You want to put your very first double crochet here in the first double crochet. You have your chain 3, which counts as your first stitch. Then you have your first double crochet here, which you'll put a double crochet in. Now this is where we want to do our stitch. Now you're not counting the chain at the beginning. You're just going to grab these 5, just like you'll have 5 here, and on down. So you'll find your 5. You'll find that center double crochet, and you're going to put a front post double crochet on the post here. That's why it's called a front post. So you're going to work a double crochet on the post. It'll be a front post. You're going to pull that up and work your double crochet. And then you're going to do a double crochet again, but you're going to have to find this double crochet, the single crochet here that you skipped. You're going to want to put a double crochet in that space. You do not want to miss a double crochet. You won't be skipping any of your 5 double crochets. So when you do your first double crochet and then this front double crochet here, then you're going to have to back up and still put a double crochet in the next double crochet. So now that's 2 double crochets. This will be 3, 4, and 5. See, it's very important that you will still work in each one. Okay, I guess it's not double crochets, it's single crochets. But you'll have, there's 5, and you'll need to work a double crochet in each. So that's one thing that you'll have to watch out for after you've done this first one. Now after you've completed your 5 double crochets, then you're going to do a front post double crochet onto that same double crochet that you did before. So you're just going to go in and do a double crochet in that same double crochet, which will kind of create kind of a V. And it's kind of pushes down this row, but next row it straightens it out. So after you complete that, you'll chain 1, you'll skip this chain 1 space, and again find that next single crochet, the first of the 5 set, and you will put a double crochet in that. And then again find that center double crochet here, and you'll put a front post double crochet onto it. And then again you're going to have to, and if it helps to fold it first so that you can find that next stitch and you can put your finger on it, then go for it. You'll need to put a double crochet in that next double crochet, which is double crochet number 2, and then continue on, double crochet 3, double crochet 4, and 5. And after your 5th double crochet of the set, you will do a front post double crochet onto that same double crochet down below. And then always remember to chain 1 after that, because you're going to be skipping over this chain 1 space and starting your next double crochet of the next set. So again, after your very first double crochet, you want to find that center double crochet on the first row and do your front post double crochet. And it'll always be like this. You'll have a double crochet row, and then a single crochet row. You'll always be skipping the the single crochet row, and using the double crochet row to make this wishbone. So again, I'm gonna make sure I go into that double crochet that I kind of hid from myself. That was 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then after the last one, you'll do your double crochet, front post double crochet under that same post, and then don't forget to chain 1. Then you start your next set. After your first double crochet, this end is 6. But again, ignore this last one because that's just to make a border on the end of your work. You're only going to be working, thinking about these 5 here. So you're going to go into that middle stitch again of that 5, and then again double crochet in that hidden one, and as you can see, it's kind of hard to go into that to do a double crochet, and it will make it kind of pull down next row. So you're going to have to remember, and I'll show you next row how that stitch is pulled down because we do that. Okay, that's my 5th. Oh, come on, yarn. And then I'm going to front post double crochet onto that same post that I had, and then the very last one of the row, you don't need to chain 1, you just go ahead and do a double crochet in that very last stitch, and that will end row 3. Okay, after row 3, and the repeats by the way is going to be row 3, which is the one we just did, and then this next one, row 4. So you're just going to be repeating rows 3 and 4. So for row 4, you'll chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to single crochet in the very first double crochet. Let me get a little closer. Okay, you're always going to want to skip this very first stitch. So, okay, the very first stitch of the row, you put a single crochet, but then the very next stitch here, you want to skip because it's actually part of the wishbone that you made. That's the stitch here from this wishbone, and you will not work a single crochet in either of these stitches that you made. If you did, it would cause an increase. So you're only going to be working a single crochet in the double crochets. So after your initial single crochet, you're going to skip the very next stitch here, and you're going to work a single crochet in the next. And you're going to continue to work a single crochet. Remember, on the ends, you'll have 6 stitches here, 6 stitches here. All the other ones in the middle stitches will only have 5. It's only 6 on the end and the beginning. So you always need to remember that when starting the row when you're counting your single crochets. So I have a single crochet here, which is 1, 2, 3. You want to have a total of 6. So this will be 4. Now 5 is harder to see because see, this is the one I was telling you about when you had to go back and do your double crochet behind that front post double crochet that we did. See, it kind of pulls it down. So because of that, it's kind of trying to hide on this side too. So just remember to always go into that one that's trying to hide on you. And then the next one here, this next, which is usually a bigger stitch, that's the front post double crochet one on the other side. You want to skip this one and go right into the next. And then you should have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So after the beginning initial row of 6, you'll chain 1, and then you'll skip this section. And again, you want to go in right here. You're going to skip. This is the chain 1 space, and then this is the front post double crochet stitch. So if you lay it down flat like this, you can see your very first stitch is the first beginning of the clear hump. You should be able to see it here. So you're going from basically here to over here. You're skipping like 2 stitches, the chain and then 1 stitch. So I'm going to go right into my first hump stitch, and this middle area will have 5 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3. The 4th is trying to hide on you here, and then again skip this big space, that's this big stitch, kind of easy to see. Skip this big stitch, and then the next, right next to your chain 1 space, you can see it. If you're good at crocheting, I mean if you've been crocheting a long time, you can recognize a chain 1 is here, and then just do a single crochet in the previous stitch. So you should have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, this chain 1 stitch is here. You'll skip this very first stitch, and then here, the very top of your hump here, where it begins, you'll put your first single crochet. And then your second, third, 4th is trying to hide on you again. You got to push that down and pick that one up. Skip the big space. If you need to, you can find your chain 1 space here and just go put your last single crochet in that stitch before it. And you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you always have the correct amount of single crochets. chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, skip the very first stitch here, and then continue on. And this is the end of my row, so I should have 6 on the end here. So that's 2, 3, get that 4th that's hiding down there, skip the next one, and then you'll have your last single crochet here, which is 5, and then your 6th single crochet will be worked on the top of the chain. And that will end row 4. So we're going to be doing a repeat of row 3, which is the repeat from here on out, is rows 3 and 4. But in actuality, it's row 6, right? Or did I mess up here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. I'm in row 5. Okay, so for row 5, you're always going to begin with a chain 3 and turn. Then find your first stitch. Remember, this chain 3 will count as the very first stitch of the row. So then you're going to put a double crochet in the second stitch of the row. And then you're going to do your front post double crochet. Now, if you can see in between your little wishbone here, you can see underneath this left one, there's your first double crochet here, second, third, and then your 4th and your 5th is kind of hidden. But if you can put it underneath this really easy one and find this first one, then 2nd and 3rd. This is the one that you want to work your front post double crochet in this row. Because on one side here at the beginning of the row, it's going to be hard to find your first double crochet. So I definitely recommend coming from this way, because there's even a space here that clearly shows that that's the chain 1 space and the ending of your set of 5. So then you want to go underneath here. You can find that first double crochet, 2nd, 3rd. You want to do it here in the 3rd, the middle of the 5. So I'm going to do front post double crochet on that stitch. Then again, you want to come from behind here and do your double crochet in that stitch behind. You don't want to miss a double crochet. So that was 2, 3, 4, and 5. And remember that this chain 1 counts as a stitch, so that's your 6. So you do have a total of 6 in the beginning still. So after you've done your 5th double crochet, again, you're going to come into that same post and do your front post double crochet onto it. And then chain 1. After you've completed that set, always chain 1. Okay, so this is your chain 1 space here. So you want to start your next set in this the stitch after your chain 1. So here's chain 1. This is the first single crochet after the chain 1. You'll put your first set of double crochet there. Then find from the side, if you can, 1, 2, 3. This is my 3rd double crochet. So I'm going to work my first front post double crochet onto that. And then back up, put your double crochet, which is your 2nd double crochet, then 3rd, 4th, 5th. After your 5th, again, you'll come back to the same post and do your front post double crochet onto it, and then chain 1. Then again, move on over here again, find your chain 1 space, and then put your first double crochet after it. Okay. Then again, you'll want to find that center double crochet to put a front post double crochet on. Then you'll back up, do your double crochet. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Fighting with my yarn again. Then you'll go into that same double crochet down below to finish your set, chain 1. You can see the pattern starting to form. Again, skip the chain 1 space, put a double crochet in the next. Then you'll do your front post double crochet. You can count 1, 2, 3. This is the middle one. Then back up, put your double crochet in the skipped one. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then do your last front post double crochet on that same post down below. Don't need to chain 1 at the very end of the row. Just put a double crochet in that last single crochet of the row. And that ends row 5. Okay. So for row 6, it's just a repeat of row 4. You'll be chaining 1, turning, putting a single crochet in that very first single crochet, skip the chain 1, skip the very first, where's the chain 1? Oh yeah, there's no chain 1 here at the beginning, that's why I can't find it. So basically you're just going to skip this very first stitch here, go right into the next. So you're just skipping 1, going right into the next to make your second crochet of the row. And then that'll be 3, 4. Remember the first always has 6. So this time the 5th one is the hard one. You'll skip this chain, you'll skip this next stitch. If you want again, you can find the chain 1 and back up, but there's it's basically like a floating stitch in the middle. There's like a big space here and the chain 1 space. So there's a stitch like in between. That's your last stitch, which was your first double crochet that you would do of the set on the other side. And you should have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you do, chain 1 and find your next set. Now here again, you'll skip this chain 1, you'll skip this first stitch, and then you'll go right into the next and start your set of 5 single crochets. 3, 4 is hiding on you, 4, and then 5th one here. Then you'll chain 1, again skip the chain 1 space and the first stitch here, and you'll go into the next. 1, 2, 3, 4 is hiding, then 5. Chain 1, continue that down the row until you get to the end, and again you'll go into that same beginning stitch, but remember this time on the end 4 is hiding, there's regular 5, and the 6th stitch is worked in the chain. And then when you're ready to begin your front side again, you'll be doing a chain of 3 and turning. Then remember, you do your very first double crochet in the second stitch of the row, and then you'll find your middle stitch. You can find it from the side here, 1, 2, 3. It's this middle stitch here, and start your front post double crochet there. Then go back to double crochet in that hidden one. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Then finish your set by front post double crocheting in that same post down below. Then chain 1. I have a feeling I'm trying to show you so close, but maybe losing you there. So after you get done with your set, chain 1. And again, you're going to skip all this. This is the chain 1. It's kind of a big space. So that's your chain 1 space. You want to put a double crochet in the very next. Well, after you've done your first double crochet of the set, again, you'll find that middle double crochet down below and do your front post double crochet. Then double crochet in that hidden one, which is your second double crochet of the set. then 3, 4, 5. Then you'll do a front post on that same front post. Double crochet as before, chain 1. Again, find that big old space so you can find your chain 1, and then in the very next stitch you'll put your double crochet. Then you'll find that center double crochet here to work your first front post double crochet. Then we'll back up and find that hidden one here. That's your second, third, fourth, fifth, and then you'll go right into that same front post double crochet as before and chain 1 after the set. Again, find your next big space here of your chain 1, then the next stitch after it is your first stitch of the set. Put a double crochet. Now remember, on the end there's 6 stitches, but this one is on the end, so again you can find it by just going underneath this one, touching that first double crochet. 1, 2, 3. This is your middle. Do your front post on that. That's 2, 3. You know, I'm fighting with my yarn. 4, 5. Find that same double crochet. Put your front post double crochet on it. Remember, you don't have to chain after the last one. You just put a double crochet right in that last stitch. You can see the pattern clearly coming out. And then again, you're going to repeat. The next row is just going to be single crochets. It's really easy. So you'll chain 1 turn, single crochet in the first one. Remember, you won't have a chain 1 here, so you're just going to skip the next stitch and start your set of single crochets. And remember, on the end and the beginning you'll have 6 stitches. And always remember, after your set, and this is a set of 6 because it's on the beginning, you're going to chain 1. And again, I'm skipping that chain 1 space in the very first stitch. My 4th one's hiding. Get your 5th one here, chain 1. Again, skip that chain 1, skip the very first stitch, and your first stitch will be at the top of the hump, as I call it. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, skip the chain, skip the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and your 6th is going to be worked on the top of the chain to end your row. Then after a single crochet row, you'll always chain 3 because you're going to be starting your next wishbone row. Then again, this is the chain, that's your first stitch. You'll double crochet in the second stitch of the row, and then you'll start again doing your wishbone. I hope that I showed you well enough and did enough repeats so you can see. I know that it's a little weird at the beginning. It just takes finding the right stitches to put it in, but once you get used to it, you're going to be able to do it like nothing. So I really hope that I did enough repeats that you can follow along. So that's it, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and comment down below. Subscribe if you're a first-time watcher. Also, you can hit that little bell button next to the subscribe button to always be notified when I release a new video. Also, if you're wondering what this hook is that I'm using, it's a wooden furls hook. You can find the link down below this video. And please use the link because I'll get a percentage when you buy something, which helps in paying for dues and stuff that's on this channel. Also, if you order it with the extended hook. If not, you get like half the size. Also, I have a crochet group called Crochet for the Masses, and it's a really nice group. You can share the things that you're working on, share links to free patterns, ask questions. If you want to join, there's also a link down below. So that's it, guys. Thank you so very much for watching. Bye.